This is my 2002 Chevy 2500 HD. As you can see, it's a regular cab, long bed. It's got the 6-liter LQ4 engine, a 4L80. It was the push button 4-wheel drive, but I recently cut that transfer kit. Well, actually, I got the pump rub issue. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about this, but I got the pump rub problem, and I have plans for this thing down the road that are gonna require a manual shift transfer case. So I cut a hole in the floor, pulled up the whole interior, pulled out the whole interior, cleaned the floors. I was happy to see they're not rusty. Put in the manual shift transfer case. I still got to put on the physical linkage because right now this just does nothing. And I'm going to make a whole other video about finishing up that swap because I have to actually still have the electrical panel in there. Because putting these trucks in 4-wheel drive isn't as simple as shifting the transfer case. The transfer case needs to be able to communicate to the front axle to engage itself. So it's not just, unfortunately, a shift of the case yet. There's a 6-liter. I had to do the knock sensors last week. So I pulled off intake manifolds, got new intake gaskets, fresh oil change. I did a whole bunch of maintenance on this thing. I got it a few weeks ago, and I've actually, until the other day with this transfer case issue, I've been working on it more than I've been driving it. But it's sitting on 33-inch tires, or 285s, BFG all-terrains. That's the first thing I did to it. Completely stock, besides the fact that I swapped the transfer case. Originally, I tried to fix the auto transfer case, but and I had a parts transfer case, but it didn't work out. So I was like, screw it, I'll just source a local manual shift one. So that's what I did. I personally think that the nose on this truck is the most attractive. That's why I was looking for an 01 or 02 heavy duty, because of that grill and that big bulge in the hood. I think it's really good looking. I'm in New York, and the truck is from New York. You like my dad's jacket and the reflection there? Truck's from New York, but it's actually remarkably rust-free for a New York truck. So that is awesome. Well, I told you I had the floors up, all in here. This one still had the factory paint on this side. That one was just starting to oxidize. So I cleaned it off, put wax, cavity wax for vehicle interiors. This is to get some better smells in here. But yeah, cloth interior, which I like, is the LS. What else? Yeah, pretty simple truck. 256,000 fucking miles on this thing. And it's still going pretty strong. Like I said, that transfer case issue was the first problem we had. Now, it's not perfect. Things I'm going to make videos about are going to be eventually rebuilding this motor. We're going to be converting the thing to manual with an NV4500. We're going to keep the 6-liter. I like the 6-liter. I had one of these trucks with an 8.1 in it, a Suburban, and it was cool, but you can't work on it, and you can, but it doesn't share big block parts with 454 or any other big block. It's its own thing, and aftermarket parts are really expensive. These things are a dime a dozen, and you can make a lot more power more efficiently. So, plus it's got aluminum heads. Those are easier to mill or CNC port or whatever than cast iron heads off an 8.1. So, cab mounts are going to be probably one of the next videos. We're going to do something to the exhaust. We're going to make this thing sound a little better. Long-term goals for this thing, for it to be stick, cammed, an inch or two higher on 35s with a Dana 60 under the front. And I want this thing like looking like brand new. I'm going to pull this box off. Eventually I'll find a cleaner box, like a new box, because the last owner was changing out the shackles and he just drilled a hole right in the side to get to the bolt, which wasn't cool. So the bed's kind of fucked up there. The inside's not terrible, to be honest, but beat up. The rails aren't really straight and shit. They're all dented in. Like, it's a work truck, I get that. And I work on a farm with it now. But that's why the bed will be later down the road. But when this bed comes off to do the mounts, I'm going to pour 15 the frame. So yeah, I got big plans for this thing. A lot of performance shit as far as headers and exhaust, cam, tune, intake. Probably using a lot of the same parts off of like an LS3 or something. I have the lower valance. I bought those fog lights, are new. We're gonna get new headlights for it soon. I think in one of the next videos also, we're gonna work on pulling this dent out and putting the valance on. But yeah, manual swap, engine work, full exhaust, solid axle swap, and I want the truck to look like brand new. So, welcome to the channel, and welcome to this build series. We gotta come up with a name for it. Oh, I'll start the thing up. So it runs really well. You can tell it's got miles on it. The motor definitely is not. It feels better after, you know, the top end work I did to it, replacing those sensors and cleaning everything up in there. It was really badly gummed up, and I cleaned out the head, so I can tell just from that it's running well. But you know, it doesn't have the power it had when it rolled off the showroom floor, which still was not a ton for a heavy truck like this. You know, 300 horsepower, 320 horsepower. That'd be awesome if it was making that now, but it's probably making around 280, to be honest, to the wheels, maybe. And you know, these are heavy tires to turn, and it's a lot of drivetrain, but we'll get this thing making some power. You can hear there's an exhaust leak up here. So I definitely want to get these cab mounts done soon, just so the thing like sits correctly again, because you can see the body lines don't match up. But yeah, I love this thing, and I'm excited to get it fixed. We got to get the tailgate fixed too. Like, this thing still moves, but the linkage in here that goes from side to side is just non-existent, so I have a ratchet strap holding it all up. Those are the tires that are originally on it. As you can see, they're pretty dry rotted. So yeah, there she is. So thanks for watching, and if you got suggestions for videos, let me know. Any exhaust suggestions, upgrades that you know work for these LS engines. The LQ4 is what this has. If you have experience with them and you know like a good cam intake header kit or something that you've used, let me know. And I'm open to feedback. So thanks for watching.